All right, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise and glories to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Harakah HaKadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, the great ministers, want this truth from. Peace and salutation to the full elect, whoever may be in the forms of the earth. Under brother Kwam Gabar, come back with another lesson to edify the body. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, the house of David. In the Lord's Villains edifying video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim. Harakah HaKadash, before I begin, say Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Shai. All blessings, glories to Heavenly Father, Abba now, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim. Harakah HaKadash. And once again, double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, who gave minister one of there's truth from. And peace and salutation to hopeful elect, whoever may be in the forms of the earth. Once again, on the brother Kwam Kabar, come back with another lesson to edify the body. Yahweh Shemel Shai, the house of David. The water, Yahweh Shemel Shai, for this truth in earthen vessels. The gift of life, the breath of life, the wisdom and understanding. Because we know that the all prophecies is popping off like popcorn. Every prophecy is a domino that is falling. Right? The dominoes are falling. The prophecies are being occupied in the meditation thereof. Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 1, it says, "But he that giveth his mind to the he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy, and occupied in prophecies." Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. Right? Worship Yahweh and worship Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Let me just get it. Salaki for butchering it, so let's just get it, let this word speak. Right? It says, and this is Revelation 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, "Seest thou doing not? I am the fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." If you're not coming in the spirit of prophecy, you're not a true prophet. And what the title of the lesson is, Famine is here. The lack of resources, the lack of food, the lack of this, the lack of that. Because the Strait of Hormuz is closed out. The Lord has made a line that America cannot cross. Right? The Strait of Hormuz. Right? But the Strait, Iran is dealing with all these other countries because they're dealing with the new money, the yuan, the Chinese yuan. But we all know that all wars are bankers' wars. And we know that Yahweh, first and foremost, Yahweh Bahashim Shai is a man of war. And war is his name. So he's the one who's ushering in the war. He's ushering in the MOTB. He's ushering in Yahweh Shai. He's ushering in famine, pestilence, plagues. Because the Strait of Hormuz is closed off to America. So, the gas, the oil, the material, everything is going to cost more and more. Right? Because the famine, first and foremost, the famine of the word. Right? The word, the Amos 8 and verse 11. And it reads, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Bahashim Shai, power, that I will send a famine in the land." That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he is doing right now. Even though you're able to still go to the store and purchase your goods, your food, buy gas, but you're paying at a higher rate because the petrodollar is done. The American dollar is finished. So we know this is leading to what? The CHIP, the micro CHIP, the grain of rice. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Bashem El Shai, behold, power, that I will send a famine in the land, right? Not a famine of bread, he's doing that, nor a thirst of water, right? That's important. That's eating bread and drinking water is very important to the body. But what's more important than food? Actual food. But hearing the words of Yahweh, Bahashim Shai, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. Then, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, Bahashim Shai, and shall not find it. Because that's the most, that is the only thing that we need, right? Because Yahweh Bashmel Shai is the breath of life, right? The water, the word. You see? So let's go back. That's where I wanted to start, Ezekiel 2, because 2/3, the whole world is going to be in dire straits for food, for resources, for gas, for oil, right? That's why a man should upwards of the people in the world, because your neighbor is not going to be your neighbor in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months to come. Because the Lord is closing the whole thing down. Esau cannot pass the bounds that the Lord has set up for him to rule and to reign. That's in the book of Job, right? So let's go to second Ezekiel 2, verse 8 through 10. It says, but thou, son of man, hear what I will say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. That's talking to the elect. Well, let me jump to verse 7. It says, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. Stiff neck. Rebellious means means back. Rebellious again and again and again and again to the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son. And only Israel can rebel. Sin. You see? It says, but thou, son of man, hear what I will say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. That's why the remnant, a remnant is going to return to the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son. You see? And Lord willing, we're the remnant, the elect. It says, open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me. That hand is Yahweh Shai, the Spirit, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the Word, the breath of life. It says, and when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me. And lo, it's an old French word for look, right? Lo means to look. A roll of a book was therein. It's talking about the scriptures, right? the words that are written in this book, the prophecies, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe, destruction. Let's go to Jeremiah 15 and verse 2. Then said Yahweh Bashemel Shai unto me, though Samuel and Moses stood before me, right? The two prophets, yet my mind could not be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. That's the word of the Lord. The famine of the Lord is coming. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith Yahweh Bashemel with Shai power, as such are for death to death, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such as for famine to the famine, and such as for the captivity to the captivity. Let's go back to Ezekiel. That's what the Lord is telling us. Right? He's telling us. He's giving us a secret. The mysteries. Right? Verse 10 again. And he spread it up, and he spread it before me. And it was written within or without. The Lord is not a respecter of persons. If you fear him and worship him, Lord willing, we're saved. But if you don't, everything's coming to you. Before you're gonna know it after death by pain. You see? And it was spread, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. The sword to the sword, famine to the famine, captivity to the captivity, death to death. That's what lamentations and mourning is going to do. It was sent to do. It's sent for scourges for amendment. So let's close out, because this is what the Lord is getting ready to do, and it's just quick and easy, quick to the point. Salakia. So hold on. Here it is. So this is 2nd Esdras 16 and verse 17. I'm going to start there. It says, I am doomed. I am doomed. Let's read it again. Come on. It says, I am doomed. I am doomed. Oh, come on, Esau. Doomed means judgment. I am doomed. I am doomed. Who will rescue me in those days? Troubles will come, and many people will groan. You people are groaning. You're lamenting. Let's go to Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and verse 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish, because the scriptures say in Proverbs 16 and 18, pride go before destruction, the haughty spirit before a fall. Right? You people are hot. You in a prideful, high-minded state, and the Lord's going to bring you down through famine, through death, destruction, anguish, judgment. No one is going to get away from the hand of the Lord. No one. You see? It says, troubles will come, and many people will groan. Famine will come. Famine is here. Famine will come, and many will die. Wars will come, and world powers will tremble. They're trembling. Babylon is trembling. Right? Donnie T is trembling. But the Lord is pushing them forward to bring forth the Lord's judgment on him. You see, all these other nations, they're trembling because they know their end. And who knows their end is the elites, the Chaldeans, the warlocks, the central bankers. It says wars will come and world powers will tremble. Disasters will come and everyone will be terrified. You're being, plain and simple. You're not going to escape this. What will people do when these disasters come? Famine, epic troubles, famine, epidemics, troubles, and sufferings are sent to punish and correct people. Sent for, let's go to the KJV. 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. And read this again. It says, behold, famine and plagues and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Right? That's exactly what it is. But it's going to correct. You're going to be corrected. Let's read it again. Right? This is 2nd Ezra 16 and then GNTD. Verse 19. Famines, epidemics, troubles, and sufferings are sent to punish and correct people. You wicked, ungodly people. Because you don't worship the God of heaven and earth, the God of the Israelites, the God that flooded the earth the first time. And you're back again to receive your judgment by fire. It says, but in spite of all these, they will not turn away from their sins. Even though you're hearing the message, whether you hear, whether you forbear, you're not going to correct your message. You're not going to come back and return to the Lord. And the only ones that can return to the Lord, you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, the true Israelites. It says, and despite all these, they will not turn away from their sins. They soon forget their punishment, because you think that you're still able to get up and go anywhere you want, go eat, go to Disneyland, go, amusement parks, go to the movies, go to restaurants, shop, driving your car, even though gas is, shooting through the roof. You see, but you're not gonna remember. You see, because the Lord's He didn't want you to remember. You see, He blocked you. He blinded you. He made you deaf. You see, it says, the time is come when food will be so cheap that people will think let me read it again. The time is come when people will be so cheap, food will be so cheap that people will think a time of peace. You see, even though you're able to still go to the grocery store and even though it's expensive, You still be able to afford it. Or through the greenback, or through the card, or through the RFID chip that's in your phone, but it's going to be in your hand. Like little grain of rice. You know? It says, and plenty has arrived, but then disasters will spring up everywhere. Where are we not in springtime? Are we not in man, Tawadi Abashimon was shy. For Lord willing, next Wednesday we all can keep it. You know? We're out here in California. We're gonna do a mass Passover, man. Lord willing, this is the last one here in Babylon. And brothers, from the apostles on down, Lord willing, this is the last one, because man, the water, how about you, man, was shy. You see? It says, but then disasters will spring up everywhere, wars, famine, and great confusion. Because this is the land of the great confusion. Babylon the great confusion, right? Verse 22. Many people on the earth will starve to death. Many people on the earth will starve to death. And those who escape starvation, not, we get salvation. And those who escape starvation will be killed in war. You see? Man. This, and all you YNs are going to be shipped over to the east. Because it's not called the Middle East. Eastern Asia. Right? Man, this is coming to an end. Famine is here, man. It doesn't, it's right up, it's here. Lockdowns are coming again. The gospel has been preached to all the world, then the end shall come. Where, Lord willing, we get to take part in the salvation of Yahweh Shemel Mashai. So with that, Lord's willing, be identified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Mashai by Hashem, Harakah HaKadosh, and once again, double honors to elder apostles, elder bishops, a great millstone, peace and mercy, Lord, for that. Shalom, 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 shalom.